So these have been out for 2 days and they're still kind of interested in it, but there's nothing there for them anymore.
Dave McNerney said his honey crop is good this year, despite the dry summer, which translated into a late start for the honeybees.
Kind of like they missed what our normal honey season would be, but then our honey season kind of came late.
Okay.
So they seem to make up for it, and I think my honey crop is probably up by about 70 or 80%. The queen will be in the center where the young are, where she's laying eggs. So if we work from the side, we generally don't damage the queen inadvertently. And again, here's another honey soup. This one's pretty near full of honey, right at the. And after they evaporate enough water out of the nectar so that it won't spoil, they seal it over with wax. So you can kind of see they haven't got these ones sealed yet. They're still working on it.
Do they like hibernate in the winter? What happens?
No, they kind of just go in a cluster in a really tight ball, and they consume sugar and shiver their flight muscles to generate heat. And they keep the inside of that ball at 30 degrees. And then the bees, the queen will stay in the center with any young. Then the bees get cold on the outside of the ball, and they'll kind of slowly worm their way into the middle. And then the warm ones in the middle will work their way out to the outside.
Any new diseases this year that you're worried about?
In the past, we had varroa mite was a border issue. And then we had honeybee tracheal mites were another issue. And this year it was small hive beetle. So we had a protocol in place that saw the hives inspected multiple times for the presence of small hive beetle before they came. And then they were inspected again when they were here. And we didn't find any small hive beetles. So the protocol we had in place was effective. And we import about 4,000 hives a year, usually. Or every couple of years a disease issue pops up because we're importing hives, and we're an island, so we tend to have a kind of a less robust disease profile. And so we want to not introduce any new diseases, and the blueberry growers want to have enough bees to do their blueberries. So there's this kind of seesaw effect where we'd like to keep bees out in general, and they'd like to bring bees in general. But they do kind of support our industry. They rent every hive we produce.
So are bees the most prevalent pollinator in the insect world, or?
No. We have probably about 200 species of wild bees and beetles and moths that pollinate blueberries. Honeybees are the ones that we can manage the most readily, and there's also we do import bumblebees, and alfalfa leafcutter bees are another managed pollinator. And then
Solid.
And bees make one of these boxes is full of honey weighs 70 pounds, and one of the deep ones weighs 90.